Evo coins are now available for purchase, which means we can buy the new mobile suits. So we're going to talk about Melee Zaku, and I'm going to let you know whether I think you should buy it or not. I don't want you guys to make an uninformed purchase and then be feeling bad because you don't end up liking it in the end. I'll make sure to tailor this little guide for all different types of people so that you can have an idea of whether you should buy it based specifically on, you know, characteristics of yourself. So, first off, how powerful is it? Melee Zaku has a very high potential to be powerful. But when I say high potential to be powerful, I do have to kind of say it doesn't have the easiest skill floor, meaning as soon as you hop on the character, don't be expecting to frag out. This character, I would say, has about the potential to be something like Sazabi, which is a very powerful mobile suit. But yeah, so what does the character really do, and how does it affect how powerful it is? It has great area of effect damage, meaning it has great ability to cleave through enemies with its primary fire and with its thrown strike of damage and with its like spinning Beyblade ultimate. So it has great damage on certain maps. Any map that has like tight areas is going to get a lot of benefit from this. Any set of enemies trying to walk into a Melee Zaku standing in a door are going to be a little bit unhappy when they're all taking these massive chunks of damage, right? So, with this, it has an insanely cool and fun rage mechanic that has huge potential. Being able to properly tank the right type of damage, deal damage to get your rage mechanic up so that it buffs your damage and your HP is really cool. And it has a huge potential, right? That's very powerful. You have the ability to block any cooldown or ultimate used on you if you time it correctly with the survivability. That is a very tricky ability to use because of the timing, because of it's not like a proper shield like when I was watching people use it before. And you know, ever since I got to play it myself, people tend to have a tendency to try and just pop it out in the open and hope that they are successful, you know. And it's not like something like Reinhardt's shield in Overwatch that you just walk out and take damage, or something like a Zarya bubble. It's used to make yourself survive, and if people start damaging you during that time period also, then that's perfect and it'll get your rage mechanic up. But yeah, moving on from that. The ultimate is really good. You literally just start spinning and dealing a bunch of sets of damage in a giant circle around you. So you can do mass damage to enemies. Any of these objectives that have small areas, you will absolutely frag out in this character, and you will do an insane amount. It has 2 dashes and 1200 HP, which is pretty high, and then you just have a standard self-blocking ability that you can pull damage off yourself with. In addition to that, you have what is honestly the best thing in its whole kit, which is a bash ability. A stunning bash ability that knocks shields away from enemies. So basically, the shield part is important, but not the main important. The main thing that's really important is that this character can be used to counter Barbatos. So if you've been playing Sazabi and getting a little bit frustrated because you are a giant red thing that keeps getting bullied, well, here you go. This is the character for you. But, you know, we'll get on to that. Moving on. Is it hard to play? Yes. It's not easy to play. But you will feel very rewarded when you do play it properly. This is like a kind of a time investment a little bit. It is a brainy mobile suit. You have to learn the game. You have to learn how to maximize your cooldowns, all that stuff. And if you are, you'll get a lot of value. But if not, you won't be super happy with it. Just because you don't have like a shield to walk up and enemies aren't clicking on them, it isn't going to have a lot of forgiveness for bad timing and stuff like that, and just taking random spam damage. But like I said, it's not like so bad that you're gonna walk out and just like die immediately and just feed your brains out, because you do have 1200 HP, right? But it is a frontlining tank, and the expense of being a frontline tank means you get focused more. It means you have to have a higher capability to dodge cooldowns, understand cooldowns, do all that kind of stuff. Really important with timing too. So will it get nerfed? No. I would be shocked if it got nerfed. Even though I'm saying it's a high skill character, because it's a high skill character, people won't really be feeling like it's crazy busted. Maybe people at the very top of the ladder will be like, oh, yep, this character is great, but it doesn't just get this raw value of like, I press a button and the enemy team dies kind of thing that some characters do, that just makes it kind of busted and makes people feel like it's busted. Doesn't have that, and that typically is what makes things get nerfed. Its damage numbers aren't too high, its survivability isn't too high, its HP isn't too high. Nothing is just too powerful, really. People might get a little bit frustrated about the ultimate, but I don't really think they're going to change it too much. The ultimates are already pretty strong in this game. So, final notes: is it worth the $10? Starting off, do you just love Melee Zaku? Do you love Zaku in general? The ranged one too, do you like this, the way it looks, like this character? Are you super excited that they put the Dazzle Zabi Zaku in? then buy it, right? This game is meant to have fun, so go live your role-playing dreams and playing this character. But for everybody else, do you love frontlining tanks or playing melee units? And if so, are you not afraid to be focused down, stunned, and kind of bullied a little bit? Because that's what's going to happen. That's what happens to you, that's what happens to Sazabi players. You have to understand that because you're the big scary main guy, people try to focus you out, and they try and pressure you out. Now, if that's something of a challenge that you relish, then that's no problem. But if you typically like to play something like, I don't know, Gym Sniper, and you just like sitting in the corner and clicking on things, not too worried about what's going on, then probably not the character for you. The value you're going to get in the game isn't going to be like crazy high unless you're like a very, very high skilled player, or until you put a lot of time into it. So if you're going to like sit in here like, okay, if I get this character, I'm never swapping off of it, then play it. Like honestly, just pick it and play it, learn the character, and you'll feel the reward for that. However, I do have to say a really important caveat to all this. If you envision yourself as a main tank player or just a tank player, and you're sitting there running down on Sazabi and you're like, okay, this is my character, I walk out, I damage people in front of me, I frontline, then this character will solve a lot of your problems. I have been very personally frustrated with Barbatos because playing against an equally skilled Barbatos to me makes my character not be able to do its job. I can't hold close positions, I can't frontline. It has, even though they nerfed it down, it has the capability just to outplay my character, just because of my character, not because of me, right? And so that's a little bit frustrating. And the thing about this character is this character has 2 dashes, and it has a bash ability. So what that means, Barbatos will not do well against this character. It will not be able to walk into you and bully you. It will try, you dash away from it, and then you bash it before it can hit a good slam on you. So I'm sure there's like a situation in which it could beat you with the timing of its mace and stuff like that, but I have a very strong feeling that will not be consistently happening. It basically levels the playing field, and it makes it so Barbatos needs to go for someone else. So if you're playing Sazabi and that's your main character, and then you're getting bullied by it, getting bullied by a Barbatos, in this situation, now you get to swap over to another character and you're okay, you know? No worries. You got a Melee Zaku to back you up. He's your little buddy standing on the side, like you're playing a fighting game and you have, you know, 2 characters you can swap between, and now you press that swap button, he swaps in and he carries for you. He helps you actually play the game and not feel like you're just getting frustrated, right? Yeah, so that's a really, really important one. But just in general, if you're really looking for a challenge and you want a rewarding character, then I think it's worth it, to be completely honest. If you're fitting into any one of these categories, yes. If you don't like tanky characters usually, then don't buy it, right? Okay, I mean, this is for people who tend to like tanky characters. If you don't like tanky characters, then don't buy it. But the prices are pretty decent in this game. $10 is not too much. And even if you want to wait and use your free capital, which should be, you should be able to get enough in like about 2 more days or so, because I'm currently at 700. Actually, 1 more day, to be honest. I'm at 700 and I'm about to get another 1,000 capital. And I'm about to get another, and then the next day there'll be another 300 capital that you can get, probably. Don't have confirmation on that, but I would recommend getting this character in those situations. If you're looking for some more Gundam Evolution videos, then make sure to check out my mobile suit guides. I made one for all original to 14 mobile suits, and I did a Should You Main Guide series also, covering the same mobile suits and talking about whether you should actually main them in Gundam Evolution or not.